Hey everyone, welcome back to another Flutter video. In this video, I will show you how to build a Flutter web application and host it into Firebase completely for free. And I will show you everything from scratch by creating a new project and connecting that to Firebase, and also the whole process to host your website into Firebase. Now let's see the demo, how it works, and then I will show you how to implement that. So this is the website that we are going to build in the Flutter. Everything is completely responsive and very nice looking. You can see here if we resize the screen, it gets the menu smaller and bigger according to the screen size. This is the local website, and this is how our final hosting website will look. We can access our website using this link in any device, and it will load very quick, very nice, very responsive with all the assets, and it is also the same way that we have seen into our local machine. So I will show you in this video how to implement this one. It is completely free. You don't have to worry about anything. Before we start, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss such amazing videos in the future. And also comment down if you have any problem. And without talking too much, let's get started right now. Alright, to get started, first you have to create a Flutter project, and before that you have to activate Flutter for web. If you don't know the command, it is flutter config -- enable -web. It will enable the web for your Flutter, and then you can simply create Flutter, create a name of your project, which is, in this case, I will say my _designer _website. So once the project is created, I can go to my designer. Alright, after opening the code into your code editor, first thing you have to do is search for Firebase core. Open up this first link and copy this Firebase core and paste it into your pubspec YAML. Save it. And now, before starting with our UI part, I want to configure Firebase with our project, which is for web. So I will go to console. In here, I will create a new project and name it my designer website. So I will have this name and click continue. Down here, click continue. Select your default account, continue. You can simply come to here, click on web, and then give your app name. In this case, I have my designer website. You also want to use the Firebase hosting. Click register. And then for Firebase SDK, we have two options. We can do it using npm and also using the JavaScript tag, which in this case I will use the JavaScript tag, which is easier. I just copy, go to our code, and here we find the web index.html, and at the end of index.html inside the body we paste this tag. Save this, close it, and come back here, click next. Now we have to install the Firebase tools for your project inside your project. But for this you need npm, which is Node. If you don't have Node.js, you have to go to Node.js, download, and from this website you have to download the Node.js. After downloading that, you should be able to run this command. I will simply come here, open the terminal. Be sure to be inside your project, and then you can paste the command and press enter. Alright, once it's done, then come back to your main and then press next here. And then you have to log into your Firebase account. You just simply press Firebase login. This thing usually happens if you're in PowerShell. Then be sure to be in the command prompt. Open the command prompt and press Firebase login, and then you will be logged in with your email. It will be pop up into the browser maybe. Right now I'm already logged in, so I don't worry. After that, you copy the Firebase init to initialize your Firebase. Okay, it will ask you, are you sure you want to proceed? Of course, yes. And down here you have to choose hosting, which is configure files for Firebase hosting, and optionally set up GitHub. Press space there and press enter to proceed. And here, of course, you would want to use an existing project because we have already created the project. Just press enter. And down here, find your Firebase project that you have just created. In this case, ours is my designer website. Press enter. This is the important part. You don't have to press enter because it will choose by default the public, which is not available here. You have to manually type build/web. In our case, whenever we build our web project, it will create a directory called build, and inside that we will have a web, where all our code for the release build will be available. So you have to type build/whip, which will be used for hosting. Then you can say no. If you want to configure your project with GitHub and do automatic builds from GitHub, you can press yes, otherwise no. So in this case, we don't have our code in the GitHub. I will simply say no. And it will say there's a build/whip/404 HTML. Do you want to rewrite it? I will say yes. And file, this is already existed. If it is existed, you can rewrite simply if you don't have any changes. So in this case, I want to rewrite because this is an updated version. So we're done. We're basically done. You can see here we have our build, and inside the build/whip we have got our index.html and 404, which are the important files. Whenever we host our website, these are the files which will be used. So now in order to host our website, we have to run this command, flutter build whip. Okay, we are done. This command will take all your Flutter code and convert it into the HTML, JavaScript, CSS and all assets which is included into your project. It will take it into the build/whip, where this directory will be used to host your website. And now to deploy it into the Firebase, we have to run this command, Firebase deploy. It will take some time according to your files and how big your project is. And once it's done, we can see that our project console is this one, and our hosting URL, which our website is right now live in this URL. We can click this URL and you can see our basic demo Flutter application, which is in website. It is live in this URL and it is completely free. We have hosted it using the Firebase. So now we have configured our Flutter project with whip, and we also have successfully hosted our website. Now let's write something that makes sense, and let's actually build a website UI and host that. So to do that, we start with our main, because we don't do any HTML or CSS, we just do Flutter, and then it will be converted into the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and everything will be taken care by Flutter. So let's get started with our website UI and see how we can do that. So inside our scaffold, as you have seen the demo, we don't have an app bar. We will create our own custom app bar. So we will directly start with the body, and inside here let me write the code for the app bar, and then I will explain you what I did. So as you can see here, I've created a container with this padding and margin from vertical and horizontal. I've given it a specific height and width will be infinity, it means unlimited, but I've given the margin which controls our width. And then this decoration, giving it some border, and then color of it will be white. Of course we will change our scaffold color to the pink. So I will write this pink with shade 50, which is the light pink. In this case I will change the background color for our app bar into white. And then I have created a row, which inside the row first I have the text, which is the title of our website. Then created another row to separate our title and menu bar. Here I have created some simple menus which are all text buttons which are clickable. Then we have named them price, work, about me, FAQ, and then after that at the end we have a button for login with some specific button style. Overlay color is this one, background color, padding. You can of course play your own colors and styles, but this is what I have just designed it, a simple login button. Now if I run this to see how it looks, we have already our Chrome. I will run it in the debugging mode and see how it looks. Alright, we have got our lovely website with a nice background color and everything is aligned perfectly. So now I'm planning to separate our app bar from here, because down here in the body I will have some more items and text and all those stuff. Since our app bar is a complete pack, I can just cut the whole container and create a new file here into our lib. I will say my custom. So we're good. I can simply call this my custom app bar, and we're just simply good. Now in this case everything looks good, but if we resize our website, as you can see we are getting errors, because it's a clear thing it cannot handle those rows which we have given a specific width for that. And in this case I just want to make, if it is smaller than a specific size, I want it to appear inside a menu bar instead of this. There should be a menu icon where we click and we can see all of our menus. So let's do that. Alright, here I will check a condition. If the media query of screen size.width is greater than 700, then we will show this app bar, which is all the menus are aligned. Otherwise we will show this custom app bar, which is having our title, and this at the end, this icon, which is a menu icon. So now let's run and see how it looks, and then you will get the whole idea and concept. As you can see right now, if our screen is bigger, it will show all the menus like this, and if it is smaller than 750, which in this case it is this much, it will change and make it a menu. Right now it's not functional and we're not planning to make it functional. You can do that later on according to your design. This is a simple responsive website that we are working on. So this is all about our custom app bar. And after our app bar, as you have seen our design, I will give some big catchy title and also a subtitle. Alright, so I have created size box with height of 40 and then given this title, which is the big title, and after that we have got this subtitle. Now if I save this and open our browser, you can see they are appearing, but they are in very bad design. Let's give them some style. I will create a separate style here and copy it and then paste it for both of them. Style equals to this one and style equals to this one. Save it and check. Okay, this looks cool, but we have to make it center. So it's better to make everything all together as center instead of making them individually. In that case, I will cut everything and create a column inside our list view, in which in this case I can simply say main axis alignment into center, but let me save it. I guess by default it is center, the column. As you can see, it is centered. And next we have got that another text under this big title. Let's add that very quick. Alright, I've added this container which is having the specific width of our device width multiplied by 0.5, which is half of the whole device width. And then after that I made this overflow to visible, soft wrap to true, which means whenever our text is bigger than the width that it is given, it will wrap it and make another line. And then the alignment is center. The style is this style that I have created. I think it looks better. So to save this and see the result, it looks like this, and according to the screen size it will make itself flexible and it will take only this much space, and inside this much space it will wrap itself automatically because we have turned on the soft wrap it to true. Now after this, let's create our view price button, that big button inside, which is eye-catching and we really want our user to click on that. So let's create that button very quick. Okay, so we have our button here with this text and basic design, overlay color of this one, background color, shape and everything. So let's see how it looks. Alright, we have our button here, but there is a problem with its sizing. We have to give some padding to make it look nice. And at the top I have declared a separate variable for button padding because I have some plans for it. And down here I can simply say padding to this one. And if I save this and see, now the button looks fine, and on hover of this I want the button to pop a little bit to show that I'm here, and if we move the cursor out of the button it should get the actual size. Let's implement that. Alright, so on hover gives us a value which is either true or false. I check if it is true, then I will change this button padding which I have declared top there. I will increase the horizontal and vertical size a little bit by 60 and 30, otherwise default is 50 and 25. Now let's save this and see the result. Now if I hover this button it just pops like this, and If I move the mouse outside, it just gets the normal shape. So one last thing is the list of services that we provide. I have an image for that. I will drag that image right here. Alright, I have this PNG image which I will use as list of our services. Of course, I have to go to the pubspec YAML and give this path for our image. I will say simply take all the images, and down here I have to provide that image. Alright, so after the button I have provided a sized box with a specific height, then a container. The background of this container is white and some border just to give that decoration around the image. Then the actual image, we have our column where I have a text of our services with the same text style that we have created up here, and also the image asset which we are getting this one image. Now let's run the application and see how it looks. Alright, so we have got our image which is also responsive. If we make it small or big, it will take the exact same amount of size, and if we make it bigger for the desktop view, we can see here we have got our nice image. The button is also popping and this button is also changing the color. And if we make it smaller, it will also change according to our design. So we have our nice design. So now let's go ahead and host our website in Firebase for free and access it everywhere that we want. For hosting, we have done the command before. As you can see, even if right now I visit my website, like we have our old website which we have hosted at the beginning, now I have to rerun these two commands whenever I do changes. Just remember the commands. I have to write flutter build web. Alright, so this command just takes all your Flutter code and makes a build into this folder, build/web. It simply compiles your Flutter code into the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and takes all your assets and put them together and make it ready for the Firebase to be hosted. And after running this command, you have to run the Firebase deploy command to actually push the new code which is available here into the Firebase hosting service. And yes, it has copied everything to your Firebase. It will take according to how big your project is, and it will simply be live in few seconds. So now we can visit our URL, which is very nice URL, my-designer-website.web.app. So you can see here we still are getting our old website, which is this floating action button. It takes a few seconds, or at most it will take 1 minute to update your website. As you can see, just by a refresh we have got our website. So till now everything is free. You can see here we have hosted our website into Firebase with our this domain. Right now this domain is nice. We got lucky that we have got this name which was not taken before. But if you want your own custom domain, you can come to your project, and down here if you click the build and hosting. So right now we're using the default domain name, which is the actual project name, and we have given this while creating this project. And still, if you want to use your custom domain, you can do that by coming to build hosting and add your custom domain. Give your domain name, find it, and pay the price accordingly, and your website will go live to your custom domain, the same website. But still, if you want a free web hosting, and it will be available until a period of time, you can check the pricing here. And here is the cost and pricing of Firebase for free account and paid accounts. If you're in free account, you have 10 GB per month of download data. Whenever your website loads, it all counts as download, because it loads all the assets and fonts and everything from Firebase. It is counted as download. And storage, you have an overall of 10 GB, and if you're exceeding these amounts, you have to pay accordingly. Their price is, I think it is mentioned, but you pay as you use, and it's not too much. So this is how we can build a Flutter web application and host it into the Firebase for free. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss such amazing videos in the future. And I will see you in the next video.